Hello guys, my name is Madalin. I'm here today with Lolita. We're going to talk today, discuss a little bit about how to maintain, build, and keep a strong, long-lasting relationship. I have my girl right here. She cannot stop from laughing. So the first thing we want to talk about today, it's how do you first of all find a person? How do you find a partner? And I wanted to ask her that in the first place, because we all want to find someone right now. It's always been a little bit more, especially nowadays with COVID, to find people, and because we cannot get out, we cannot communicate as we used to do before. So it's being a bit more difficult to connect with people. That doesn't matter, you cannot find your right person. But so how do you do that? That's the question. And I want to let her right now introduce herself and also talk a little bit about this.
Actually, as Madi said before, my name is Lolita. I'm not sure what I can introduce about myself. I'm actually from Belarus, so we both from different language speaker countries. That's where we are speaking and practice our English here. Answering your question, I think that after all, we should be really thankful for time we are living now, because all kinds of connections became really easier comparing with time 100 years ago, for example.
Right.
And that's why I think if you really have maybe a wish to find someone really special for you,
Right.
You should first of all understand that you need to be around such people who are motivated, who actually looking for something close as you do,
Right.
and maybe who just encourage you. And I think it's also not related only to relationships, like to romantic ones, but to any relationships you have, like friendships and everything.
Yeah.
So now during pandemic, maybe it's anyway became a little bit more difficult to travel, for example, to meet your friends from other countries and so on. But you still can use all kind of internet connection to follow some people, to start some messaging with them. And yeah, so I think you also need to be concentrated and focus about their level of person skills,
right,
which you want to see in a person near you. So
of course. But also I think because you could start talking with a lot of people but never find the right one. So how do you know when you find the right one? And I think from my experience, the way you do that is by actually knowing what you're looking for. Because without knowing what you're looking for, you will feel confused and you will start maybe multiple relationships without any success. And you don't want to get into that. So what I would advise you to do, this is one exercise that everybody should do. And this is the first takeaway key from this video that you should consider, is by actually writing down. Write down how do you want the other person to be, and write it very specifically. And what's going to happen is that when you meet that person, you will know that that's the person. And you will save yourself time, also because you're not going to get engaged in any other conversation, any other relationship, because you have a feeling right now of if what's right and not. So you know now if the person is right for you or not from the first place. You don't need to start anything before to see if it's right or not,
I think it's really great idea to make your own plan related to any sphere of your life, like work, studying, your sport goal, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But also you should be all the time in a good contact with yourself, and it's, I don't know how to explain it, but just feel your feelings also, and understand what kind of emotions another person bring to your life, and see these changes. And I think it's really important to feel like you want to grow with another person, because you see this ability in yourself and in another person actually too.
Also, I believe that you need to have values in common with the other person. So that means for me, and I'm going to ask you, what do you think about it? For example, we need to have, like you said, a vision, right? Some things needs to be the same, from both parts, because it doesn't matter if you are attracted to the other person. Let's say, as an example, you like the way the other person, interact with other people, the way he communicates, and have some good skills in certain areas, and you like that. But on the flip side, there are some things that you might not see at first, and those are things that you don't like because you don't see them as the values. And what I want to cover here, values as healthy life, as a successful future, as a strong connection relationship with people, and all of these for some people matter, for some people don't, and they always fluctuate. And we were discussing about this. But what do you think about having common values before we start a relationship?
I think it's not really possible to do it before, like, hello, my name is Lola, what kind of lifestyle?
That's right, but I mean,
Yeah, I think in case of some serious relations, when you already want to start
Mhm.
another level, like more family life or something like
Right.
that, of course, it's really important to discuss such kind of things because, anyway, if you have any relationships now, you can't be sure what will happen in the
Absolutely.
future, but you should be in this position that you wanted to spend your life with this person at least now. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Yes. And in this case, if you want to build your life, you should know what other person wants from his life. For example, if this person is okay with moving somewhere, or he wants to live in his country for his entire life. Is this person okay with participating in some sport competitions, going
Right.
somewhere also for this? And it depends on everybody's
Right.
life.
For example, like traveling, if both people like traveling, that's a big one because everybody likes to travel. But in the same time, people could have debates about, oh, I don't want to travel this, I don't want this, or maybe not this time, and that's a very important value. But now let's get into the second part. And after you already engaged with that person, let's say right now you're in a relationship, right? And how you make it exciting every day. Because we know that it doesn't matter how do you think at first, everything is perfect at first. It doesn't matter that we need to keep it exciting every day because it's not going to happen automatically. Your mind will get used to the other person, and you need to make it exciting every day. What do you do now to make sure that you keep engaged and you keep creating that connection every day?
So we were discussing a lot about such kind of things we could do, but actually we should pay our attention on the things we are doing right now, because
Right.
when everybody has a lot of stuff to do is anyway better than when you have too much free time. So it's really necessary to be a busy person, because you are always also have this kind of inspiration from your everyday activities,
Yeah.
like sport, searching for some new information, get new knowledge and everything. But at the same time, I think it's a really good idea to plan, actually do
Right.
something together, like we're doing now here.
Very good
Because
point. Very good point.
I think thanks to such kind of different activities, which probably you didn't do before by yourself, like at all, and to try something new together, it's actually help you to show your true personality more,
It does.
and to be more open with another person and to trust because of this.
Do-
So
Yeah, I agree with that. But do you think like the more time you spend, the more trust you could build in a relationship?
yes, of course, I think it should go to high level, not to be in the same point all the time.
Right.
If you are developed in some way and another person developed too, so you will have non-limit things to discover about each other,
Absolutely.
because you will have something new every day, and
Yeah.
you have this information from other resource, not just from each other, but you
Yeah.
can always share.
That's why I think it's important to constantly evolve and improve yourself and grow. Because if you don't do that, you will not have anything else to share, right? Now, shifting a little bit into this, how do we leave ourselves and leave each other to actually take the time to improve? And is it difficult to be in the same room but not be together, be individually together, so we could improve? If you want to read something, we need to separate a little bit from the relationship and take up time for ourselves individually. And I think that's also important because we could not spend all the time that we have together, in one place together. I think we should be a little bit separated just because we need to improve and gain that growth so we have something more to share and improve each other.
I think it's a goal that we didn't really good well
We're working on that. Let me see if I have anything else right here that I put down on paper. What do you think about supporting each other? And what do you think about, because, all right, so I think even though as much as we try to make the other person be similar, and as much as we try to convince people to do things like us, because mostly we believe that our way is the only way, now I would like to see your opinion a bit. How do you think about supporting each other in making any type of decision, even though it looks wrong for us at first?
Actually, I think, of course, if you have relationships, you should let another person know that you are his way of having support. And first of all, I think that most people feel more comfortable with sharing some negative thoughts about someone's doing something wrong. And at the same time, people used to feel a lot of good emotions too. But how I see from someone else's experience of my friends and family members and everybody, people don't really pay attention on the fact that it's necessary to share all good you have about other person because you can know it but another person cannot. When you have it in your mind and you for 100% sure that it's so clear and everybody knows it, but it can be not really true.
And also, we now get into the communication subject, which I think is also really extremely important to communicate everything you think about. Even though sometimes it might be exaggerated, like you talk too much, but it's not too much. Trust me, you gotta tell everything that's in your mind because, like she said, even though you might think, oh, the other person know what I know and what I want to do and my intention, it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. So you cannot count on that. You gotta share, and you gotta let people know your intentions, and not only in relationship but with everyone. You gotta let people know your intention, what you want to do, so make it clear. I think that's a very good point when it comes about that.
And maybe also not criticize, but just talk about some situation which you can improve, but not only criticize like you are doing everything wrong, you should stop it or something like that. But always look at every situation from a side of just having bigger possibility maybe in the future if you already do it, but not just like take all your negative from inside.
So let's say that everything was good so far, but what if we get in an argument? And that inevitably happens. Inevitably happens in every relationship. Get in an argument, something the other person don't like. You have to compromise something that you don't like. You don't want to compromise this, but you have to do it in order to keep the relationship going. So, do you think arguments are necessary in a relationship?
I think it's a kind of difficult question to talk about it like in a general way because all kinds of arguments are not the same yet, and it's depends on the subject, on the way how you argue, what are you doing, how you solve it after all. I don't really feel like you need to have such moments, but at the same time, I feel like nobody is perfect. Something like a perfect life, your perfect environment and everything. So that's why things happen. I think you should improve yourself, and if you once did something wrong, so you should remember and take some, like lesson for you from this situation to not have the same problem once again, because there are no sense if you repeat the same things day after day.
It means you never learn, right?
Yes, so there are no point to lose this time, this energy to become negative, full of these bad emotions and everything. So there are no point when you did it once, maybe twice, but you still learn it. Maybe one time is not enough sometimes, but anyway. And you have this lesson, so it means you improved yourself in this way.
And also, you learn more about the other person, so I think you learn more in these moments more than you learn in the other moments. Yeah, that's about that. I think we come to an end right here under this video. And right now, we did discover ourselves more a little bit because we don't usually discuss this. And it's also, we love this type of activities that we do together. We also contribute to our own relationship. So thank you very much for watching today. And please subscribe, leave a comment to this channel, and you can cut this part if you want to or not. And see you on the next time. Bye.